Hey everybody, how you doing? Can everyone hear me all right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Hello? All right, cool.
Yes. Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I think just for starters, I'm going to put everyone on mute for the beginning, and then there'll be time for questions and answers at the end. So I'm Alex. I run sales and marketing for EventKloud, and I'm going to be hosting the webinar. So, today we're going to be talking about the new trends in event marketing and how certain things like social media and mobile are affecting the event industry. We're going to have a couple of presenters. First, we're going to have Randall Olade, the CEO of EventKloud, talk briefly about why he started the company and the trends in the industry that he's seen emerge over the past couple of years and over the past couple of months. We also have the pleasure of having Joe Colangelo, the CEO of Bear Analytics, talk on the topic of big data in the event industry as well. And then I'm going to wrap it up with a short overview of the EventKloud platform and a demo of our software. Before we get started, I would like to have it for a quick moment, say thank you to our sponsors, Acceleprise, Digital VC, Echo Globe, and Bear Analytics, who is going to be presenting with us today as well. So on that note, let me hand it off to Randall, who's going to be talking, the CEO of EventKloud, who's going to be talking about trends in the event industry. Randall? Hello? I think he should be on the line here. Maybe he's on mute. Can you hear me?
All right, that's much better. How's everybody doing today? My name is Randall Olade. I'm the CEO of EventKloud, and I'm going to talk a little bit to event marketing 3.0, kind of the best practices for event marketing in today's digital age. First, a little bit of a background about me and kind of how we got to the event marketing software platform solution that we've created. We basically started as a digital marketing company 5 or 6 years ago. We had a few clients, and within that, we kind of noticed this trend of event marketing being the most extremely demanding part of the services that we were bringing to the table. Users basically doing an event utilize every digital channel to get the word out about their event simultaneously. At that point, we were marketing for products, organizations, but when it came to events, it was just one of those things where it was demanding. It was day and night, almost 24 hours a day before, during, and after the event. So from that, we decided, this repetitive and time-consuming process, there must be a way to simplify this whole bottleneck and this the kind of time-consuming aspect of it. It wasn't that it was difficult; it just took a lot of time. So we kind of started working on the product from there. But what I do want to talk about is about event marketing and the full life cycle of marketing that we get in today's world of social media, mobile, email, blog, all these kind of marketing channels that we have. One thing about event marketing now in today's day and age is it's almost a full cycle. It's not just, it's not just about marketing to get people to the event. The marketing continues, especially if you have, several events back to back. It's just like you start to market, and when this event starts and it finishes, you're kind of utilizing some of the social media presence and marketing going on to really lead people to the next event, so on and so forth. So just 3 principles of event marketing that we focus on today is, the first one is promoting. It's really the concept of being able to distribute content across every single marketing channel that you have that your users can possibly find out about your event. And being able to do that in a staggered format where, you get the maximum reach, and also you can build a little bit of traction on SEO on that particular event. So these days, as far as promoting and marketing channels, it just goes beyond social media. We're talking about, social media, which seems like every single month or year we're adding a new icon for this social media platform, and none of the old ones are going away. And as event marketers, we almost don't have this luxury of deciding which channel we want to market on. We pretty much have to kind of market on where our users are at. So being able to push your content simultaneously through, your email marketing, your social media marketing, being able to push it also through your blogs and, of course, your website, your landing page on your website. Just being able to get that present, so necessarily you're not bombarding your users, but you make sure your content is kind of distributed enough so if somebody's looking for it, they can reach it and they can get the information they need. So promote is the first piece. Engagement is the next piece, and I think this is something that's extremely important that a lot of people overlook. When we're pushing out the content, that is only the first step. A lot of times we forget that users have to engage with that content, and we have to make sure that we reach users on the platforms that they utilize the most. A lot of times we focus on, we're going to do social media, email, but we're not really focusing on how the users are digesting this content. And I think from our perspective, if you push out content and users can't engage and interact with that content, it's really just a waste of time, because at that point you're pushing messages that somebody is either opening on their tablet or their mobile phone, and they look at it and they say, I can't do anything with this, I'll look at it later. And we all know what happens if you don't look at it later. And so it's one of those things that that engagement piece is extremely important to capture the impulse that the user has whenever they see that event, and make sure that no matter how they come across the event, you allow them to engage. Either, like I said, it's on their laptop, their tablet, mobile, or even a print flyer that they find out, posted somewhere. We have to make sure that it's easy for them to engage, and not only engage, but also simplify the process of them telling their friends about it. Nobody's ever seen an event and said, I want to go to that event by myself and only by myself. So the first thing we think about is the people that we want to take with us, and the first thing that we want to do is kind of enable the user to be able to also tell friends about it easily. And the last piece, which kind of brings everything together, is the tracking piece. Through the years, it's been very difficult to understand, what we call event traction. From day one, how's our event doing? Where is it doing the best at? What messages are working out for our current network? What seems to be giving us the most registration? What is the path that a user is taking to actually register, and possibly what's driving them away? In this day and age, it's just wonderful. We have so much data that we can take a look at kind of what's going on with the user. Right now, our data points are, our email analytics, social media analytics. We have our Google Analytics for most of our web pages, probably the same thing for mobile. So just being able to look at that data and trying to figure out exactly what that means that your users are doing, and how to constantly really make adjustments to it and see if your number improves. We don't want to have to, in this day and age, wait till the event is over to make decisions to then restructure for the next event. We've seen this in the past. Somebody will have an event. They'll market really well. The sign-up rate is extremely high. They end up overselling, kind of packing the venue, and then, people are extremely uncomfortable at the venue because it's so packed, and the event organizer tries to over-adjust the next time by getting a bigger venue, but people were so uncomfortable the first time, the turnout the second time is less, and it's just this inability to react in real time to what's going on, so you can give the user the experience they're looking for. In this day and age where everything is online, events are the one thing that you can get somebody by voice, physically, in person, that you really get to kind of increase the value of your brand or sell the product that you're looking to sell. So it's one of those things where we have so much data now that we need to make sure that we understand what it's telling us and how to react to that data. So just as a quick overview of the things that are extremely important as far as event marketing in this day and age, being able to promote across multiple channels. It's really great to put the marketing content out there, and if possible, ensure that your marketing content across all your channels kind of never die, meaning that when somebody goes back to an old event, it leads them to an upcoming event that you have coming up, so that way the SEO is always giving you the bang for your buck. The next piece is engagement. Promoting doesn't matter if a user can't engage the content that you're pushing out there. And the last final piece is traction and the tracking. Just a deeper understanding of what's working for you and what's not. So from event to event, you can constantly adjust your marketing so you're improving your registration rates, you're improving your user engagement. And in this day and age, users have such a short attention span that if you don't grab it, you're losing out. It can make the difference between selling 2 tickets and selling 100 tickets, and we've definitely seen that within our system. So Alex, that's what I have. I'm going to pass it back to you, and we can move on to I believe the analytics. Hold on one second.
Yep. Thank you, Randall. That was great. I am going to pass it now to Joe Colangelo, the So, Joe, you want to take it away?
Thanks. Appreciate it, Alex. So, Bear Analytics, we focus on data that drives events. And, I understand big data and data in particular are buzzwords around events because I think that a lot of event organizers as well as attendees believe in the promise that information brings. And that promise is in a couple different buckets. First, you have kind of the audience, so not just who is in our audience, but how is that audience being shaped over time or across different events within a portfolio. So tailoring different product offerings, different service offerings to a particular event. And then once you understand, here's the strategy for a given event, who we want to attend, and this can be anything from, webinars to concerts to giant trade shows. So from hundreds of people to many tens of thousands of people, events that last half an hour to events that last many days. And the idea being that there's a set of behaviors that each segment of the audience exhibits, whether we're talking about the marketing before an event, so some of the things that Randall talked about, hitting the event website, engaging with other folks at the event or the event organizer on social media, or engaging with different pieces of content leading up to the event, as well as the behavior that's in the event itself. So when you're talking about something like a trade show, there's a lot of folks putting a lot of resources and a lot of effort in understanding flow patterns and who's going by whose booth, who's engaging with people in the exhibit hall versus who's checking out the plenary session or a panel session and consuming different pieces of content, and when do people flow in and out of the lunch session. There's a lot of things that folks are really excited about measuring because the technology is there for the first time that's allowing people to do this. And so we've seen a wide variety of technology platforms enter the space in the last 10 to 15 years, and I assume that trend is definitely going to continue in the next 10 to 15 years, because the old model of let's market to our publication list, get people to attend, and put on the same dog and pony show and treat everyone as if they're the same attendee is dying, and it's dying quickly. And lastly, I think the major reason that people are excited about the promise of big data in the event space is the amount of colorful information, demographic details, and the quality of the information around revenue and conversions. So when you take something that's, not a widget on the shelf, like an event experience, and you start to realize why people are purchasing that experience, that's a very powerful tool to then go back to the marketing team or the content team and say, look, this is how we want to shape and change the event in the future. It also allows people to react more on the fly. So you get out of this cycle of send a survey after the event, find out what worked and what didn't work, and try to change it for next year. And you're able to really prototype the event more in real time. This is especially important for folks that have different audiences or have a portfolio of events that they host throughout the year that are different from one another, may take place in different locations. Capturing that information and then assessing and mining that intelligence, I think that's one area that technology is really going to assist the everyday event organizer in the future. We're already starting to see that. There's higher fidelity data capture tools out there that are allowing you to mine both your internal information, so if you're talking like the registration data versus the public-facing information, such as social media, and bringing it into one consolidated location and with a level of quality that's extremely high. So that's not something that readily existed 5 years ago. And when we talk about then the challenges associated with this, as they are right now, for us and for who we deal with on a daily basis, it's really a challenge in confidence. No one is really excited about the quality and the fidelity of their information or the approach that they're taking towards data. A lot of this information sits in multiple sources, whether those are internal technology systems or external systems, so people don't know where the data is. They don't know if they have access to it.
The default 1/1/1960.
In addition, there's a certain amount of, quote-unquote, dirty data that you see. So folks feel like because there's duplicates in their information, or they may not be collecting as many fields or making these fields required across all registers.
People will probably just be like, what do you need my date of birth for to buy a beach pass?
I think somebody's not muted there, speaking into the phone. And then lastly, I think one challenge that people face is understanding exactly what is driving folks to conversion. So you have this sense of data overload. As this information is coming in, it's the signal through the noise exercise. How do we understand what should be the focus for the marketing team, for the sales team, whoever it is, for the promotions team? What's truly driving this audience, their behaviors, and ultimately their conversion? And so I think the exciting part is that information and data is going to allow us to answer some of these questions. Some people are already doing it. Some are just starting to get into the discussion. Folks are already starting to talk about we're building a data-centric culture. So really, and using the information and the knowledge that they previously entertained based on gut instinct or experience of staff and supplementing that with what this business intelligence or data analytics is telling us. And I think when you marry those two things together, intuition with actual mathematical rigor, you're really putting yourself in a position to not only improve or become more efficient and effective, but you're also putting yourself and the organization in a better position to hedge against risk. And on the event side of things, certainly when we deal with a lot of nonprofits and trade associations, we saw the downside firsthand through the recession on what could happen if your event, has a bad year, because there's a lot of eggs being put into that basket. And so as you start to build this data-centric culture and you think about how information science is going to play a role in your decision-making process, I think a lot of people are excited about that from a big data standpoint. And so with that, I guess, Alex, I'll kick it back to you.
Thanks. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. It was really interesting to hear about it. There's a lot of, we're kind of in an era where events are having, sabermetrics happen to them the same way baseball had it happen, 10 years ago in that field. No pun intended. I'm going to just give a quick talk about the EventKloud platform. and show you guys a walkthrough of how we've developed it in order to solve a lot of the problems that we've talked about today, and how it uses multi-channel and mobile integration, as well as data tracking, in order to really let you see the benefits of increased attendance and increased engagement with your audience. So on that note, I'm going to just, in the efforts of time, kind of dive right in. As Randall said, we created EventKloud to do three things: help you promote to your entire audience easily from one platform, help you engage if possible, and help you track all of the data that's going on. So in terms of promoting, we want you to be able to enter your event details in one place and have the event go out everywhere. So if you make a change, that change is reflected on Facebook, on Twitter, in the emails that you send out. So, and have it all go easily and be formatted correctly if people open it on their phones or on their tablets. So the process of creating an event, we wanted to take away the kind of struggle of keeping up with the best practices on each and every different social network. So we created a system where you can select the promotion level you want for the event. So high, medium, or low. You can see that here. And select what networks you want, and then it creates a customized set of posts for you based on the best practices per network that you can view and see. We should be posting to Twitter at these times, say something along the lines of this. And you can edit it and, hold on 1 second. So that you can, have a backup plan. So it'll know to say the day before the event, hey, come out tomorrow to, this concert or this marathon or, this, educational webinar. And it keeps track of all of those, all of the events that you have from one simple dashboard. So we also wanted to make sure that it was mobile optimized so that people, 80% of people read their emails on their phone. The numbers for social media are even higher. 85% of people check Facebook and Twitter from their phone. So when you find these events, you want to immediately be able to click a button and check in, or send a text to someone else with all the event information, so they can check out pictures, they can see the address, they can see the time and date, and they can, register themselves as well. And the most important part, though, that we wanted to do was have everything be accessible from one dashboard, so that you have the same place that you're going to push the event out, and the same place be where you check on the event's progress, and the same place be where you can track all of the data and see where your customers are coming from, where your attendees are finding out about the event, and how they're sharing it, who they're sharing it with, so that you can use this data to really optimize your marketing and how you're reaching your attendees, where you're focusing your efforts and what's most effective. So, we've found through working with a number of different companies and clients that, people really see the benefits as being a huge time savings in terms of getting the event out to the world and sharing it on all the platforms, keeping their website up to date, keeping their blogs current, having social media covered so that they don't have to always be logging in every day and promoting for 5 different events. So it really saves time. It helps fill seats earlier, because when people have less friction, when they can register from their phone and share the event easily, more people sign up. And then being able to see the data and have those reports to really understand year over year and month over month, this is how much money we spent, and this is how many attendees we had. This is the number of people that came to our site and looked at it, as opposed to the number of people signed up. So we want to break all of that information down so you can really understand what your event marketing is worth. So at this point, I'm going to just pause and ask for questions, and then I'm going to spend a quick 5 minutes and do an event, a walkthrough, a demo of the product in real time. So I'm going to unmute everyone and see if there's any questions that we can answer before moving on. Okay, cool. So I'll come back for any questions at the end, but I just want to give you guys a quick overview of the platform. This is what EventKloud looks like on the back end. When you are a customer, you log in and you see your dashboard. We try and keep the directions very simple. You have 3 basic things you can do: add an event, look at your dashboard, and find out about tracking. So the dashboard is where you see a overview of all of the events that you have coming up. So in here you can see there's a marathon, there's a concert, and you can see the page views you've had over the past 10 days. You can see how many new people have joined your network as a result of this event, how many new email addresses you have, how many current customers or attendees you have that are coming back for this particular event, as well as the engagement rate, how much people are clicking and scrolling on your website and the event page. So when you want to add an event, we try to keep the process as simple as possible. Add the event details, check how you want to check people in or have them register, RSVP, sell them tickets. We integrate fully with Eventbrite and Cvent so that if you use those processes, it's a seamless integration. And then this is the part that really saves time. It's where you're able to check, yes, I want to promote on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. I want to include this in my newsletter and automatically create a custom template, and also make a Facebook event and make a meetup event, or Eventbrite as well. And you can select if you want to do high, medium, or low for your event promotion. And then when you select the promotion date, it automatically creates a custom plan for you based on best practices so that you can see what it recommends to tweet out or to push and promote out on your network in order to maximize the event details. So here's the plan. It says, on certain dates and times, what networks should be posting, and use how to use the hashtags in order to get a maximum attendance. So that's the first 2 facets: add event and my dashboard. Now we're going to move into the last piece, which is my tracking. And this shows you for all of your events in aggregate how you've been doing over the past couple of months. So you can select 1 week, 1 month. You can show certain events in specific, and then you can see how many visitors that you've had, where they're coming from, how many emails people are opening, what locations people are finding out about the event in. Are they nearby? Are they from far away? So as well as who these people are, what social networks they're part of. And you can use this information in order to optimize your marketing efforts and really increase and maximize the events that you have and the way that you send out promotions. So we have a number of widgets that will help fit on your website and blend in fully that you can use in order to keep your website up to date from the same place that you're updating everything else. And you can also measure how many people are finding out about the events from that and how many of them are actually converting and buying tickets as well. So this is a quick overview of the EventKloud platform. When I say it's a platform, what I mean is we want to integrate with all of the systems that you use currently and help you save time when you're doing it and be able to measure what the effectiveness of them are. So in terms of social media, we want to be a layer that sits above your social media and your email that helps you manage all of these things. So we integrate with social media accounts, we integrate with your email accounts, and we also integrate with sites like Meetup and Eventbrite and Foursquare so that you can have the maximum exposure for all of your events and make sure that your pictures and your content all gets the best exposure that it can. So I'm going to open up the floor again for any questions, see if you guys, if there's anything else, any questions that anybody has. But otherwise, here, let me... So thank you guys for attending. And if nobody has any questions, I'm sure everyone is busy and we don't want to take up any more of your time. So have a great day.